I have built a prototyping machine, and I am so excited about it. So we made the social game. It is this website you can go to right now, and you can subscribe to it and pay for it, which you should do because you should support the vision. And on the social game, what this is going to be, and I'm going to give myself one quick note of feedback, which is that I need to get much better at describing this in a short and clear way so that people understand what it is. The social game is a platform that hosts all sorts of different social games that work for different group sizes, different levels of complexity, different game lengths. So, like, I want there to be like 5 minute games you can play with two people, and also month long games that you can play with 1,000 people. That is the big, ambitious vision of this thing and where it's headed. Right now, there's a handful of game modes in there, but there will be many more. I need to get a lot better describing it though, because sometimes people play the social game and they're like, "Oh, is it just the one thing I just played?" It's like, no, there are many things in here. So I need to get a lot better at communicating that clearly. Okay, so we built this thing to make conference games. We built this thing to build things like pecking order. So we had made this game pecking order in the past, and it was a different app, and it was much more complicated. And once we started going down this road to say it would be cool if there was an app that allowed us to modularly move the challenges around and move different things around in the game to make it work for more people and different kinds of conferences. Once we started going down that road, I was like, now wait a minute. That's just like the same way that our other games like Pecking Order work. And so I actually just went ahead and built Pecking Order in this as a proof of concept to show, hey, this old game that we made actually works in the social game. It's just one of many game modes in here. Really cool. And then we did a conference with it. I'm about to do it, use it at another games conference where I do a big giveaway to the winner, just to kind of bring people into the app and get them using it. So this thing is like alive and well, and we're doing a bunch of different kinds of games in here. Okay, why is this a prototyping machine? Because the way that it works is essentially the game logic is pretty agnostic to like what's actually going on in the game, if that makes sense. I like to think of like the existing code is kind of like the super highway that can accommodate a really broad range of different kinds of games and different kinds of activities. And so, what you can put into a challenge, as it's called, a game is really just a series of challenges. What you can put into a challenge is like, I don't know, it's like the sky's the limit right now, right? Like, at a basic level, you can have like forms and buttons and different choices for the players to make. And then there's a bunch of game logic that you could implement that could do kind of anything. You can give people points, or maybe they're on a team and their team gets points. But like, there's no reason you couldn't theoretically put like a map into a challenge and be like, you are on a board and you need to move to different spaces. Here are the spaces you could move to. You could totally do that. You could have an auction, or like this, with Daniel and I keep on talking about making a gambling game and talking about how cool that would be. And there's a variety of things like that it's like, oh, wow, you could really build a lot of kinds of games in here. And it has just made my brain explode with possibilities. And I have this Google Doc that has just all of these ideas. Some of them are even like ideas that I discarded from the past that I, thought maybe this won't work as a board game. Maybe this isn't worth pursuing. And I've been just kind of piling them into this document because all of a sudden I'm going, well, wait a minute. This is not that hard to build in the social game as a standalone game mode. How interesting is that? So after Laracon, Daniel and Jacob and I, my good friends, were out in a cabin with our other friend Caleb, and I said, as a little proof of concept, it would be really fun to build like a Jackbox style game in the social game. And we brainstormed it a little bit, and Daniel threw out this idea and said, "Hey, we really love making tier lists. We really love like ranking things, like and arguing about like, oh, is Tom Cruise really Tom Cruise? Is Tom Cruise really an A-list actor, or is he a B-list actor? It's these like dumb debates that we love having. It's very fun." And I immediately was like, "Oh, that works perfectly." And so we quickly constructed this idea for a game where each of us makes some tier lists. It's like come up with an A-list actor, a B-list actor, a C-list actor, and you do it for a few different categories. And then the game scrambles it up and sends some of your answers over to another player. And so this other player gets them in a random order and also across multiple categories. And all of a sudden now, maybe that player gets some of your answers, and it's like, okay, there's Tom Cruise in the category of actor, but there's also like Arby's in the category of Chick-fil-A. Do I think Daniel has Tom Cruise as a better actor than Arby's is a fast food restaurant? Which is a really hilarious judgment to make. And we immediately had a ton of fun with it. I went home, prototyped this thing very fast in the social game. And we played it this last weekend. I played it in person with a friend's family. My wife was there. And we had a great time. And it was really fun and funny. Some people were agonizing over their answers. A lot of people were roasting each other about, like, you had The Stand as a B tier book. It's an A tier book. Are you crazy? Exactly the kind of shenanigans that I was hoping to pull off. So anyway, I am just so thrilled about this because this thing that went from an idea to a like nearly finished game in a couple weeks, and that's pretty freaking amazing. That's an amazing turnaround because there's all this boilerplate code I didn't have to write in order to make it work. And the cool thing is, all the little like bugs and stuff I find doing it this way end up, as I solve them, it ends up making all the other games better too, because they're all going on this one superhighway. And it's gotten me so excited about these other future ideas. At some point, maybe I'll spend an episode talking through some of those other ideas. But I have this document and these ideas that I've like previously abandoned because I thought, I don't really know if I have time to prototype that. I don't know if it'll work as a board game. I don't know if it'll work as a mobile game, whatever. And now it's like, yes, but it could fit into a vehicle that could fit on this superhighway. And now that has my wheels turning, to take that metaphor way too far. I'm very excited. I'm in rapid prototyping mode. I'm able to bring games to fruition in weeks instead of months, and that is so exciting. So anyway, check it out. It is on thesocialgame.gg right now. The game's called Hot Takes. What else are you going to call it? It's great. And we're having a lot of fun with it. So stay tuned for more of that. And I'm going to get back to rapid prototyping. And we're actually playing the social game this weekend at a games conference. I'm going to not pitch. What am I talking about? I'm going to have an exhibitor's booth for Colossi, which will be really fun. My Colossi is my card game that is already published. So I'll be standing there with a bunch of boxes of Colossi and a nice banner and some prints and some stickers, trying to get people to buy it. And in the meantime, I will also have the social game running. Maybe we'll give away like $100 or something to the winner, just to try to get another big group into the social game and see how it goes. So we'll report back on that very shortly.